To be honest, when it comes to watching anime or reading manga, there's usually a strong amount of reasons why I usually stay away from certain titles. For example, I won't watch Black Clover because it kind of just feels like Naruto with magic. Or the other reason why I literally waited 3 years just to watch Hunter x Hunter is just because, at least to other experienced anime watchers, the first few episodes felt like the same old, same old. Usually there's always an overpowered MC that comes from a strong clan or a family that has some type of special power that's passed down to him, or usually there's some comedic relief side character that's usually kind of funny and a little bit pervy that always has some big mountain or some big adversary that the MC has to overcome to become the Hokage or the Pirate King or Super Saiyan or the world's best blank. The basic idea is that as long as you're the MC and as long as you're part of the main cast, any challenges that come your way, you can overcome them with friendship. But then there's animes that challenge that idea. We have your Attack on Titans, your Death Notes, your Promising Neverland, but only the first season, and your Jujutsu Kaisens, etc. These are perfect examples of animes that say, just because you believe in yourself doesn't mean you'll achieve everything you want, or just because you're special and you believe in your friends doesn't mean that your dreams will come true. And I love this because it not only makes the anime less predictable, but also forces even the reader to use real world logic when reading or watching these animes or mangas. So no magic, no random power-ups, but most importantly, it forces the reader to think and to play alongside the cast of characters to figure out what's really going on here within these titles. And then there's Death Parade. To be honest, I didn't really expect much from Death Parade, especially since it only has 12 episodes. I assume it was just mainly filler. Just another anime that was, with an okay idea, but not enough action or plot to really carry the whole entire series. But boy, was I wrong. Being released in March of 2013 by Yuzuru, the same man who helped create Sword Art Online, Bleach, and the GOAT of course Lupin III, just to name a few, but this story was given life from another show called Death Billiards, which was produced by Madhouse and licensed by Funimation. This story takes place in Purgatory, where at the beginning you and another is wiped of any previous memories that sent you to this location, and from there you're being sent to one of the many bars to be judged by an arbiter, or in simple terms a Grim Reaper, someone to judge to see if you deserve to be reincarnated or sent to the void. And in this way, the judges pretty much decide this through death games. When entering the bar, each of the participants have to complete the death games with their souls on the line, and with each completion of the game, or slowly completing the game, you slowly start to unreveal your fate of what led you to this location and also any other prior memories. In this show, we followed Deacom, an alone arbiter at the Quindecum bar, with one of his biggest interests being creating mannequins from prior guests who left an impression on him. When viewing Deacom, he's very isolated and lack basic human emotions, but this is also on purpose because in the world, arbiters are not really allowed to have emotions or connections with human feelings. They're not allowed to experience death or feeling of being alive in general. These things are pretty much wiped away from them the first second they're created. If anything, just like how the show says, they're pretty much just dummies. The other characters I would like to get to is the Existent. She is a young kind of woman who is sent to help Deacom understand the emotions, but is also very risky because, like I stated before, arbiters are not really allowed to do this. Throughout the show, she shows flaws in the way that the arbiters and the system throughout fails to pretty much count on judgment whenever deciding if people go to the void or reincarnation. Other characters include Nuna the boss, Ginty, who is another arbiter who has a great hate for humans, Quinn, who is an arbiter before Decim, and many others just to round out the cast. Especially from episode 1, this plot really does take off with a newly married couple playing a simple game of darts, but with the twist that the dartboard is different representations of different sections of the body. For example, the edges are double points and pain at the same exact time, and other locations are pretty much like the livers, the eyes, etc. But whoever comes out with the less amount of points wins. This episode starts off like any other episode where the couple doesn't really actually believe this and tries their best to find an exit. But then after finding out that they're dead serious, accepting the game no matter how they feel about it, trying to find loopholes around the game. For example, the husband tries to lose so the wife can win, or even missing on purpose just to keep the score even. But the longer the game goes on, the more that this idea starts to crumble, with the husband believing that the wife cheated on him during their wedding by overhearing her friends speak of how she only cares about money and having another man on the side. And from that point, the man tries to win the game, but the wife states that she's pregnant with his baby and starts to change his judgment as the game goes along. Before you know it, the score is tied, but is quickly broken by the wife accidentally slipping and hitting a bullseye or a representation of the heart and winning the game. Then in the husband's rage, the wife confesses to cheating on the husband and that the baby was never his, making the husband break out and try to attack her. But before the man can act out his rage, he is stopped by Decim and knocked out. Soon after that, the couple is sent to the judgment elevator to either go to the void or reincarnation. But there's also other situations too, like 2 murders are sent up for judgment and are forced to play a game of air hockey, but each puck represents each body part with a symbol on top of the puck. But slowly as the episode goes on, we learn that the two are way more connected than we ever could have thought, making a thrilling twist and a reveal at the end that still to this moment gets under my skin a little. When it comes to the show's art style, I have to say that it's animated very beautifully. You could tell there was a lot of time and passion put into each character, from emotions or the way they show or just body proportions altogether, from the small little details on each one of the faces that show different emotions or the unique design that gives each character their own little personality. And the setting is nice too, especially with the outside scenes like the galaxy pool. It's very realistic and very pleasing. The other fault I would say about this show is the fact that it's only 12 episodes, but I would also say that it kind of just makes sense because I would say the conclusion of the show allows each plot to be explained and understood. But when it comes to the ending, like I said in prior videos, I don't want to spoil this in any way, shape, or form. But in simple terms, this show explains the difficulties in truly judging and understanding why people do what they do, from regrets and hopes and dreams to the sad reality that the loved ones that we've left behind. There's a lot more inside the show that I have to say is just way more beautiful, but if I say any more past that, I would be completely spoiling it for you. And to be honest, I genuinely want anyone who even has like the slightest interest into this show to try their best to actually watch it. I promise you could knock this out in a day if you really try. It's a beautiful tale of you never really know what a person is representing, even if you try your hardest to figure it out. So at the end, I would pretty much just give this a 9 out of 10. I mean, it's amazing at the end of the day. I even cried, dog. Like, that's so rare, to be honest. I actually cried like halfway through the series. So I would roughly give it a 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 for me. But until next time, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later. And I'm out. Peace.